What is going on, everybody? How are we all doing? And welcome back today to episode number 2 of our Manchester City FIFA 18 career mode. Before we do anything at all, I just want to say a massive thank you for the support on episode number 1. I asked you guys for transfer suggestions and to let me know if you were enjoying the series, like looking forward to it coming back, and the support was incredible, so thank you so much for that. Today, we're going to be doing quite a lot of simulating. We played one game of the pre-season tournament in the last episode. I don't think we're going to get too hooked up on that. I want to get to the season as quickly as possible. However, we are going to be pulling out our first signings, hopefully. Now, obviously, last time I asked you guys on suggestions. The main 2 areas of focus were left back and striker. You guys came back with tons of suggestions. Some of them are absolutely amazing, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Starting with the left back, which you'll see in just a second. And there was also suggestions for another centre back, for other midfielders as well. So I think we need to focus on left back and striker first, but then if we've got any funds left over, which hopefully we should have, I'll have to wait and see, then we'll focus on other positions. So we'll get into the left backs first, and once we've secured the left backs, I think that's the main priority position, then we'll start going after a striker. So this here is a bit of a short list of all the left backs that you guys are recommending. We've got some very obvious names on there, the likes of Marcelo. We've got Ghoulam, who's a bit less obvious. However, he's someone that when Man City played Napoli very recently in the Champions League looked excellent, and I think he'd fit the system very well. We've got Felipe Luis, we've got Kimmich, who's naturally a right back / centre mid, but a player with a lot of potential, and a couple of people said that he can play left back as well. And we've also got Alexandro. Now, I'm going to start off by chalking off the ones here that I don't think we're going to be going for. Now, Alexandro is the first one, and I'll talk you through why. I think we need someone that's going to be able to allow Mendy to grow still and be a good rotation option. And I think that Alexandro is, quite frankly, almost too good. Like, I think he completely wipe out Mendy's chances of playing. I think someone like Marcelo would be excellent because he's 29 years old. That's a lot older than Mendy. Of course, long-term wise, he could step aside, maybe rotate a bit as well. So he could be excellent for us. Ghoulam, same age as Alexandro, but I think they'd make a very good rotation, similar to what City have had in the past, where they've had like Kolarov and Clichy and Zabaleta and Sanya. I think he could be very, very good. Felipe Luis, again, he's a bit older, so again, he's one that could potentially step to one side and allow Mendy in a couple of seasons, maybe a season time, to take that position. But I don't want to pay 25 million or however much it's going to cost for someone that's 31. So there's a bit of a fine line we're walking there, so I don't think we're going to be going for Felipe Luis. Kimmich, incredible player in real life. You can see here, according to this, you can't actually play left back. You can play right back, centre mid, centre back, CDM. So I don't know exactly how true it is that he can play left back, but for that reason, we're going to be leaving Kimmich. So realistically, I think we're torn between Marcelo and Ghoulam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till the scout reports come back on him to check out his value, all that kind of stuff, which shouldn't be too long, and then we'll make a decision out of those two. So, as I mentioned as well, for these games now, the pre-season tournament games, we're going to be simulating. Then the first one is against Barcelona. Not too sure what to expect here. This is Barcelona, of course, will sim to the end, and it's a 2-0 defeat. A goal for De La Feu, a goal for Messi, and Busquets actually got sent off. But I think the main thing in these pre-season games when we sim them is not to get any injuries, which happens very, very frequently when simulating games. So we've avoided that there. Let's hope that can remain the case. Player conversation here. Foden disappointed not to start. What can I tell you, Phil? I'm simming, mate. I'm sorry. So here we are then, guys. This is the information that we've been waiting for just on the dawn of our game against Juventus, I think it is. We've got a scout report back on Kimmich, 82 rated. He's someone that I would love to get in, but like I said, I just don't think he's really a left back, which is what we're after, and he's very versatile as well. That's another plus to him, obviously, but I think we'll leave Kimmich for now. Maybe if we've got funds left over, he's someone that we could bring in because he's so versatile, because I do really like him in real life. And the next player, the main player here, is going to be Ghoulam. Now, he's 80 rated, which isn't the highest rated in the world. 13.5 million, 59k a week. He's certainly one of the more cheaper options. And like I said, when I've seen him play in real life, I think he's the kind of player that would work really well in our system. Look at his stamina there being his top stat. That's great. Can get up and down the line. He's got very good crossing. His shot power is decent, which isn't, I mean, shot power is nothing really to write home about. But crossing is important. You know, we're a team that we're going to be attacking quite a lot. So the fact that his contract is expiring in 12 months as well, I've just noticed, is excellent, because that means we could get him for even cheaper. So I think we're going to go for Ghoulam first. I know he's not the most glamorous option when you compare him to Marcelo, but 12 months left on his contract, fits the system well in my opinion. He's going to be our first priority target. Right, we're approaching to buy Ghoulam then. It's going to be really interesting to see exactly how much we have to pay here, because of his contract expiring, I'd like to think that we can get him for around the £10 million mark. If we can do that, that would be absolutely exceptional in my opinion. We've just got to get through all this animation stuff now. So, let's see what the transfer fee that they're going to want is. They've given us a 0 to start off with. Let's just say 10 million. and work for that. His value is 13.5, but only 12 months left on his contract. We should be paying, in theory, less than his value, and we should be able to get him. So let's see what they say to that. Okay, so they want a bit more than the 10 million. They've said that they're looking around 16.5, which still, you know, I would happily pay that for him, but I think that we can get him cheaper because of his contract situation. So let's counter offer. Let's propose a new transfer fee, and so they want 16. Let's say 14 million right on the money. See what they say to that. I think again that's fair. That's slightly more than his valuation. Let's not forget again he has got 12 months remaining, so in theory we should be getting a nice buy here, I think. Look, we're sticking to our price tag. Oh, okay, so they are holding on to the 16.5 million. Let's see if we can get them a tiny bit lower. Let's say 60 million bang on. Again, I've already said I wouldn't be too displeased to pay that for him. I think at the end of the day, 16 million, especially in this modern day and age, is a very, very good transfer fee for Ghoulam, the kind of player that he is. Let's see what they say to 16. Wow, they are just not budging. 16.5 million. It looks like we're going to have to stump it up, so I'll accept that. So although we tried to negotiate him then, there were some hard negotiations from Napoli. And now, of course, we get to negotiate with the player himself. So Ghoulam's going to be coming in. It's going to be interesting on the role that we're going to be giving him, because it's going to be very much rotation with him and Benjamin Mendy, which is exactly what we were looking for realistically. So let's see if we can get him on sort of a rotation. I don't know if we're going to give him a rotation or just a first team or what here. This is going to be quite interesting. Right, so we've got rotation. He's not going to be crucial. He's not important. I think he's going to be rotation. Hopefully he's okay with that. Of course, he is coming to a bigger club, I would say. He's coming to a much more competitive team than the mod he was in at Napoli. So I think that's quite a fair offer. Let's see what he says to that. Yeah, that's what they're hoping for. That's fantastic. So we will be able to rotate him and Benjamin Mendy, which is cool. I think we're looking at 4 years here. He's 26 years old. That'll take until he was 30. That's about right, especially if he grows nicely as well. That could be very good for us. And that's exactly what they're after. Let's carry on. This has gone very smoothly so far. A lot more smoothly than negotiating the transfer fee. Let's move on to the next item. And he wants 97 grand a week on his wages. So that's quite a big increase than what he's currently on. He's currently on 59k at Napoli. So maybe we'll be able to get that down a little bit. I'm not too fussed about the signing on fee and the bonuses. That's okay. Let's take a look. I mean, the appearance bonus, 500 grand after 5 games. It's hardly anything, is it really, 5 games? But let's edit the wage. Let's try and bring that down a little bit. Let's say 80 grand. That's quite a big drop down, that is. Let's see what they say to that, though. That's still not what we're hoping for. My client wants a wage of 95, so they have come down slightly. I wonder if we can get him down to 90. I mean, it may not seem like a big deal because we've obviously got a lot of wage budget left, but these little things can make a big difference. Maybe if we shave a few grand off every player, that might allow us to get someone else in the future. So let's try 90, see what they say to that. Okay, they're saying if they're really interested in the issue, no problem having paying 95 grand a week if we really want him, which I agree with. Let's just give him the 95 grand. He's going to be a player that starts very regularly for us, obviously. Hopefully he can be a good player, but that is our first signing of this Manchester City career mode. We get the backup left back that we needed, and that is Mr. Ghoulam. Hopefully he can do well for us. Enjoyed that little video, guys. That's just something I wanted to try out. Let me know what you think of that. If we sound like a big player or a marquee player having like a little welcome video, remember to put in the comment section down below as well. Hashtag, if I can get my 2 hands, hashtag welcome Ghoulam. If you did enjoy that, let me know in the comment section down below, and I might incorporate that into the Blackburn career mode as well. But you can see Ghoulam here in our starting 11. He's 2 ratings above Benjamin Mendy, but he's of course 4 years older than him as well. So that's a really nice rotation option we got there now. And the second thing we need to be looking at, of course, now is bringing in a striker. Now, the striker spot is one that caused a lot of different suggestions in the comment section of the last video. Now, these are the 4 players that got mentioned the most, and players that I think would fit what we're trying to do really well. And it's a very interesting mixed list here. We've got Paulo Dybala, incredible player, incredible player, would fit the system that we're playing perfectly, and I'll show you just why in a second. We'll go back to the team management screen before we carry on with this. We've got Asensio, not naturally a striker, but he's capable of playing on left wing, right wing and cam, and in the system that we're playing, that is something we can adjust to, which is what I'm going to show you in a second. We've got Edin Dzeko, who was someone that we mentioned last time, and then Immobile. So you've got 2 players here that are perhaps, you know, because I spoke about last time having a different option. These are guys are definitely more target men kind of players, and then these 2 again fit the mould of the kind of player that we've already got, the kind of weavy player, the versatile player. And what a lot of people were mentioning, was the possibility that with this formation, if we wanted to, we could essentially, if I can just do this now, drag one of these back, and we could almost play like, it says right forward there, but it wouldn't be a right forward, it'd be more of like a false 9 formation, and that way we could rotate people like Bernardo Silva in, have a lot of options there, and that's why someone like Dybala especially, I will say, would fit perfectly because he can play cam, so we could put him in here instead of David Silva if we wanted to. We could play him at striker, we could play him at support striker, so someone like Dybala gives us a lot of options in that kind of area. But I also think that Marco Asensio could do exactly the same kind of thing, so I'm very torn between those two. I mean, in the last episode, and this is why I love getting involved with you guys in the comment section, I was very keen on bringing in a target man to give us a different option, but when you guys are suggesting playing a false 9 and changing up the system if we wanted to, that to me is a more attractive idea because I love the idea of bringing in Dybala or Asensio. Now the question is, for you guys in the comment section, do we go for Dybala or do we go for Asensio? I would very happily go for either. Dybala's obviously the much higher rated one right now in reality on the game. Both have got tons of potential. But I am very torn between those two. I think they're already both skated out. We're going to probably agree a transfer fee for them both in today's episode. And then in the next episode, I'll go for whichever one you want me to. Because like I say, I think Dybala was the most commonly suggested one. But then a couple of you also suggested Asensio as well. So we'll do that. And like I say, in some games, we'll probably play like a false 9, this kind of thing. Again, I don't know what it's saying right forward. Because I don't think they'd be acting as a right forward in that position necessarily. But we can chop and change that around. And I think that'd work really, really nicely. And the one thing I do like about the team that we got, players like David Silva, I mean, De Bruyne could essentially play there, he could play there, he could play right mid as well. Someone like David Silva could drop deeper, he could play support striker, or Aguero could play striker or centre forward. I would say Jesus could play striker, support striker, and perhaps even on the wing. So we have got a lot of depth and a lot of different options. So that is something that excites me, and I think Asensio would offer more depth in an all-round position because I think he could play striker, support striker, cam, left mid and right mid. In my opinion, Asensio could do a job in all those positions, whereas Dybala would be just striker, like one of these 3 positions, striker, support striker or cam. I don't think we'd really see him on the wing. So I'm going to be really interested to know what you guys think, but in the comments section down below, let me know Dybala or Asensio, guys. But we'll agree a fee for both of them now, and then we'll finish off the deals, hopefully, with one of the deals in the next episode. We're also on the day of the Juventus game, which is another one that, of course, that we're going to be simulating. Hopefully, we'll arrive at the first game of the Premier League today, fingers crossed, so we won't be far off at least. We're going to sim that and we come away with a 2-1 win. Goals for Sane and Aguero. We're booking for Ghoulam. Otamendi had to go off. Let's hope that's nothing to do with an injury. It doesn't say it, so I don't think it will be, fingers crossed. So just a few days later, we've got our next game in the Asian Elite Cup. This one is going to be at home. Well, I say at home. It's not at home at all, is it? We're playing PSG. Soon to the end of this one, we're going to come away with another win. 2-0 Aguero with both goals in this game, but Jesus did pick up a knock. Let's hope that's nothing too serious. That is exactly why we need another striker, because in this situation, we are lacking there. Wow. Wow, guys. And that is why we need another striker. It's 8 weeks, it's a long time, but he shouldn't miss too much of the season, I don't think, maybe like the first 5 or 6 games, but an 8-week injury for Jesus, this is exactly why we need that second striker. Let's see if we can agree a fee now for either Dybala or for Asensio, and then we've got a game against Bayern Munich as well. It's worth noting that before we go into the negotiations here, Dybala is apparently going to cost between 95 to 144 million. Asensio coming in a little bit less, 84 rated, so he's 4 ratings less, but he's coming in a little bit lower, between 51 and 76. So both of them, whichever one we go for, is going to be very, very expensive, that's for sure. So the first one I'm going to try and negotiate here with Zinedine Zidane himself is going to be for Marco Asensio, a player that, of course, has broken into that team, doing incredibly well in real life, and it's going to take a lot of money to prize him away from Real Madrid. 40.5 million is his current market value. How much are we going to go in for here to begin with? Do we go straight in with a 50 million bid? See what they say to that? That would be a bit of a steal. I'm going to say 55 million, and I think we're going to have to negotiate up from that. That's a nice starting block, though, I think. We're getting closer. They want Asensio, 57 million, and they also want to include a sell-on clause and receive 50% of the transfer fee if we sell him again. So let's counter that. I'm very happy with the 57 million. Sell-on clause is only 5%. Do you know what? I think I might just flat accept that. I think that's very fair. 57 million for Asensio. I mean, if we're talking real life now, obviously it's always going to be different in career mode, but that is a steal. So 57 million pound, that is agreed for Asensio. So we'll be able to negotiate with him now, which is really cool. So now we arrive at the second transfer, of course, and that is for Paulo Dybala. A lot more expensive, 88 rated. £69.5 million his value is, so we're going to go straight in with a big boy offer of 80 million. We're not going to mess around here. It's a lot of money, but he's a fantastic player. 88 rated for 80 million. Let's see what they say to that. Wow, so they are coming straight back in Juventus, asking for £129.1 million. That is a lot of wonga, but it's what you expect with a player like this. So let's see if we can negotiate that down a little bit. Let's negotiate a new transfer fee. Let's say £100 million, just straight on the money. £100 million. What do they say to that? We can afford that. So all of our transfer budget gone pretty much like instantly in one signing, but we can afford that. 100 million. What are you saying, Juventus? How resolute are you? How much do you want to keep Dybala? 114.5 now, so they have come down a little bit, and we could actually afford that with 5 million spare. So that's now within our budget, which is cool, because I don't think it was before. Let's say 105. This is some negotiating going on here. £105 million. Propose new transfer. Oh no, we've just done that. Sorry, let's propose that 105 million. See what they say to that. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I'm sorry, but the price of Dybala has been set. Right, so we're going to have to accept those negotiations. We can afford it. 114.5 million it's going to cost us to get Paulo Dybala involved. So this is where it goes down to you guys in the comment section. Do we go with a 57 million bid that's been accepted on Asensio, or a much better player right now? You know, they're both fantastic players, but Dybala 115 million essentially. So I want you to let me know in the comment section down below which one to go for, and we'll pick them up in the next episode. But what I'm going to do now is we're going to sim through a bit more time. Hopefully, let's see where we are on the calendar. We'll arrive at the start of the season, and once we do, I'll leave it there. So I don't think there's going to be any gameplay at all in today's episode, but in fact we can skip this one and we can do the transfer next time, can't we? So we'll skip past this one, then we'll end off the episode, and then the next time we'll be doing our first game of the Premier League and bringing in either Dybala or Asensio, depending on what you guys want to see. Okay, so I've never seen this before. This is quite cool. So we've got here a press conference which we can get rid of. There's a scout report which we're not interested in. But both players here have said that they're really looking forward to meeting us and starting negotiating the contracts. Normally I just negotiate straight away once the transfer offer's been accepted. So what I'm going to do is, I think, how many days have we got to the Bayern Munich game? Is it today? It is today. So we're going to sim the Bayern Munich game and then we'll end the episode, because I don't want it to get to a point where they pull out of this and the deal's over because we've taken too long to negotiate, if that makes sense. I don't know if that is a thing, but that's what we're going to do. So both players are looking forward to negotiations. That's awesome. So that's a positive sign in my mind that we should be able to get whichever one you guys think we should go for. But we're going to do that as soon as we've played this game. So we're going to sim the game against Bayern Munich. That's going to be the end of the Asia Elite Cup, I think. If we win, there might be another round. We actually win on penalties, 5-4. Aguero with our goal, James Rodriguez for Bayern Munich. But does that mean there's another round? Is there another round to come now? Let's have a look in the calendar. No, that is that. So we actually won the Asian Elite Open, I think, which is absolutely awesome. So we'll get a few more I was going to say a few more coins then, playing too much Ultimate Team. We've had a transfer offer for Gundogan. Tournament prize money 4.4 million, which is fantastic. Your Asia Elite Cup performance, it was good to see you winning it. Absolutely great stuff, even though like, we simmed the vast majority of it, obviously. Offer for Gundogan, 53.4 million. So I'm going to leave this episode here, guys. Let me know, Dybala or Asensio? And do we sell Ilkay Gundogan for this big bid? We could obviously negotiate and get a little bit more, but that bid actually excites me a bit, because we could sell Gundogan and perhaps bring in someone like Kimmich. I like Gundogan in real life, don't get me wrong, but I think that'd be a good bit of business, because Gundogan as well obviously is a player that's often injury prone. I think Kimmich would give us a lot more well-rounded cover as well. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. That is going to end off this episode. I apologise that there's been no gameplay. That will be starting in the next episode. We'll be kicking off the Premier League. But like I say, Asensio or Dybala, and then do we sell Gundogan and bring in Kimmich? Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your support. As always, I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Nidge out.